Welcome to the Vermillion Local School District Board of Education meeting for Monday, November 21st. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Habermill.
Here.
Mrs. Ennis. Here. Mrs. Oates. Here. Mr. Stark.
Here.
And Mrs. Stepp. Here.
Okay, first thing we'd like to do is recognize the Vermillion Elementary School Students of the Month. So if you're an elementary school student of the month, please come forward and make a line for us. All right, ready? Step up there and face this way. What's your name? What grade are you in?
First,
Who's your teacher?
Mrs. Lux,
What do you want to be when you grow up?
soccer player.
All right. Go to the end of the line. Stay up here, though. Go ahead, step up there. What's your name?
Jaden,
Hi, Jaden. What grade are you in?
second,
And who's your teacher?
Mrs. Hollers,
And what do you want to be when you grow up?
an actor.
What's your name? Speak into the microphone. What grade are you in?
First,
And who's your teacher? What do you want to be when you grow up?
astronaut.
Awesome. What's your name, buddy?
Conversation,
What grade are you in?
kindergarten,
Who's your teacher?
Mrs. Ferris,
What do you want to be when you grow up?
Hustler,
All right. What's your name?
Landon,
Landon. What grade are you in?
second,
Who's your teacher?
Mrs. Garcia,
What do you want to be when you grow up?
a football player.
You look like a football player. What's your name?
Ashton,
I asked you what grade are you in?
second,
Who's your teacher?
Miss Becker,
And what do you want to be when you grow up?
a vet,
That's awesome. What's your name?
Reese,
Reese, what grade are you in?
Cole,
Who's your teacher?
Miss Cole,
And what do you want to be when you grow up?
kindergarten.
Oh, that's awesome. Good. What's your name?
Maggie,
And Maggie, what grade are you in?
kindergarten.
Who's your teacher?
Mrs.
And what do you want to be when you grow up?
A doctor.
A doctor. What's your name, buddy?
Avery,
Avery. Let's face the crowd. What grade are you in, Avery?
kindergarten.
Who's your teacher?
Miss Faulkner,
What do you want to be when you grow up?
a police officer.
Great. What's your name?
Evan,
Evan. What grade are you in?
kindergarten.
Who's your teacher?
Mrs. Botman,
What are you going to be when you grow up?
police.
Awesome. All right. So if everybody will stand, you guys can lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, right? Ready? Pledge allegiance. Thank you. Good job, guys. Good job. So now we've got some students also here from Sailorway Middle School who are also citizens of the month. Can you guys come up? Well, same thing. Just tell us who you are, what grade you're in, who your teacher is, and what do you want to be?
My name is Abby Rhodes. I'm in 5th grade. My teacher is Miss Lena, and when I grow up, I want to be a sign language interpreter.
Wow.
My name's Aiden Bath. I'm in 7th grade. My homeroom teacher is Mr. Caudell, and when I grow up, I would like to serve in the military.
Awesome. Great job. Thanks for coming in. Okay, item 4, student liaison update. Mrs. Stepp.
Okay, today we have Skylar Byers and Kaylee Penton, and they're going to talk about their powder buff game and move to stand training.
Do we need the microphone closer or no?
They can pull it right out.
It's right here, good?
Sure.
Okay.
Alright, hello, I'm Skylar.
And I'm Kaylee.
We have both been involved in a group called Move to Stand for 4 years, and this is our first part of peer leadership, our first year.
We'd like to thank Mrs. DeLeese and the Board of Education for giving us the opportunity to speak tonight.
Move to Stand started out as an anti-bullying group at Vermillion High School. It started out with Mrs. Figa, but now its objectives have brought in things such as awareness about possible danger in our school, working against alcohol and drug abuse, and coming together in a community as a whole.
We have accumulated many members this year throughout our training session at Open Door Church.
Our training day was recognized by the Sandusky Register, the Chronicle, and the Bully Prevention Association Winter Newsletter. But ultimately, this day was recognized by the school as a whole. Many students were able to take away a positive message that small actions can make a big difference, that listening to others and celebrating each other's differences is important, and some of more of the students in Move to Stand attended the Project Love Rally just last week at CSU.
Also, peer leadership is another opportunity for students to get involved in the school and in the community. This group consists of juniors and seniors that exhibit leadership. Even though it is roughly 3 months into the school year, peer leadership has already carried out some awesome projects. This past November, we've had our Powder Buff volleyball game, raising over $700 for breast cancer research. And then we have a video for
This past Wednesday was the Kill It for Koenig Powder Buff volleyball game. Juniors, seniors, and teachers rallied together to help raise money for breast cancer and our very own Mrs. Koenig. In the first match of the night, the juniors faced the seniors, and boy was that interesting. They both were able to show their volleyball skills, and although both teams were pretty talented, the senior boys took home the first one of the night in just 2 sets, helping the seniors build up their confidence. They sure did come prepared and weren't leaving without a victory. Senior Tristan Mayer sounded pretty excited for the second match.
I am extremely confident. I knew we'd win at the beginning, and I knew that we'd win now. This is our time.
Team number 2 served up some much tougher competition, the teachers. The match was extremely intense, volley after volley, and I was able to get a word with Profe.
I would have been short-staffed, but I am pumped to raise money for breast cancer.
Teachers ended up losing a tough game in just 3 sets, but overall it was a great time for everyone. Peer leadership wants to thank everyone for their support. Kaylee Penton, SNN.
Alright, so this video kind of just captures like the event and how well it went. Like I said, we ended up raising over $700, which is awesome. We had a lot of fun and we're really excited for a lot of other cool projects that we're going to do this year.
The students in peer leadership also travel to the elementary and the middle school once a week to mentor young students as a part of the Big Brothers and Big Sisters program. Every Friday, the students collect recycling throughout the school, and they are currently collecting items for military care packages, which is a school-wide competition.
Peer leadership is a wonderful group to be a part of. It helps to open the hearts of students and demonstrates the importance of giving back. We are really excited to be a part of peer leadership and are extremely excited to participate in more projects throughout the year. And again, thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Great job, guys. And item 5 on the agenda, the legislative update. Mike?
Before I get started, I just want to take a minute to thank the district for
give me the opportunity to attend the Ohio School Board Capital Conference down in Columbus. Myself and 10,000 other board members, treasurers, superintendents were able to take some interesting seminars and they had several classes that hopefully we can use up here. I was also selected to be the delegate for the meeting. So Monday morning I attended a delegate meeting, and that afternoon we had the OSBA business meeting, and I participated in voting to make OSB changes to the legislative platform. Some of the courses I took were Are School Buses Safe? And I could tell you we don't need seatbelts after seeing that. There was boardmanship courses, conflict, getting the most out of your 5-year forecast, random drug testing for school employees, creative revenue sources for public education, arming school staff, understanding transgender students, just anything you could think about, they probably had a session on it. So, and some of the new legislative activities, there's a bill that's currently being monitored by the OSBA. It's the Ohio House voted 86-4 to pass Senate Bill 252, it's known as Lindsay's Law, and this is regarding cardiac arrest in youth athletes. So it's a 23-page bill. I believe it's going to be, if somebody shows any signs of fainting or anything like that, that they'll have to be sit up or sit out until they can get approval from a physician to go back to playing. The Senate Education Committee held a hearing on House Bill 383. This legislation would require a half a unit of financial literacy education in the high school curriculum. The committee also heard testimony on House Bill 438. This bill would designate the week prior to the week of Thanksgiving as Ohio Public Education Appreciation Week. And going through the trade show down in Columbus, they had they had some of the CPR dummies there on display. This would relate to the House Bill 113, having the CPR graduation requirements. So that's something we'll have to start looking into. I think it was to require instruction on CPR, the use of automated defibrillators as a requirement for high school graduation. And that's all I've got.
All right, thank you. Item 6, Superintendent's Report.
First item on my report tonight is a presentation by Holly Lynn, the Director of Ritter Public Library, and I believe she's got a couple of guests that she'll introduce when she comes up.
Well, no.
Sure, that'd be great.
I thought it was me.
Oh, okay, sorry. I had Holly on the...
These are for you to look at. These are the books that the Lighthouse Committee we had talked to Joette McDonald, and we know that Joette was a longtime member of the staff in Vermillion. And Molly, you want to take it over?
Sure. The Lighthouse Preservation Committee approached us, and in commemoration of the Newfoundland lands that is now in our lighthouse, they decided to write a book. And they asked Joette McDonald to write it, and Joette graciously accepted, and Joette wrote the book. We had it published, and the Friends of the Burton Public Library paid for the publication of the book. And the thought was that every third grader would receive a copy of the book to go along with their visit to the lighthouse that they do. And the fictional characters except for Tom Mose. Tom Mose is mentioned in the book. And the book is also dedicated to Matthew Mose, and that's important. It was important, I think, to that. Do you want to add anything?
Sure. I've spoken with Bonnie Meyer, and she suggested that we donate 75 books to the third grades, because not all the third graders do the same lesson at the same time. So she said 75 books would be good. These will be classroom books, and they will be shared then by the 2 pods or however it's set up. And an interesting thing is at the end of the book, there is actual history that is written by Tom Mose. And for the past 2 years, Tom Mose has been doing an educational talk to the third graders on that last, like next to the last week of school when the third grades come downtown and do their historic thing. They've been going to the lighthouse, and Tom Mose has been doing a talk about the history of the lighthouse. So this is all going to go along with that. And we hope it will be a fun way for the kids to learn about Vermillion and the lighthouse.
Well, we're sure that they'll appreciate it, and that's a piece of history, Vermillion history, Linda. And sorry I didn't introduce you. I had you on the agenda.
That's right. And this is Carol Wetzler. Carol is the president of the Friends of the Library at Ritter.
Very good. Thank you for being
And
here.
they
Thank
were
you for
very
the
generous
donation. This will be
in donating
fantastic
this.
to be put to good use, for sure.
Yeah. And there are copies in the library, and you can also buy them as Christmas gifts for your children, grandchildren. They are available at Main Street.
Great.
Awesome.
Who did the artwork on the cover?
Joette wrote
Okay.
the book and did the artwork.
Very good.
Mhm.
Thank you so much.
Great.
We're
Okay.
welcome.
Thanks. You're welcome. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item that I have on the agenda tonight is the Novotny liquor license transfer request. I put a small, we needed to recommend that resolution first. You want me to read it?
Sure.
Is that okay? Sorry, we need to recommend a resolution to accept the donation of the books by the Lighthouse Preservation Committee and Ritter Library.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Mr. Haberman.
Yes.
Mrs. Ennis.
Yes.
Mrs. Oates.
Yes.
Mr. Stark.
Yes.
Mrs. Stepp.
Yes.
Okay, I started on this Novotny liquor license transfer request, and I put something in that we can review to you, I think a couple weeks ago, and I just wanted to discuss this a little bit because it's just appropriate that we all be aware that this is happening. And I put my rationale into the little paragraph that I sent you about it in the weekend review, but Novotny, the Novotny Farm Market was on Route 60, and they've moved now further down the road, right across the street from basically the traffic light. And they had a liquor license that was attached to their name in that market. So as part of the legislation that has to go with this, anything that's within 500 feet of a school has to be approved by the district. But I think that even though we say that we have to approve it, the state still has the right to override that, because I went back into the history a little bit and looked at this, and I believe that the gas station right there at the corner, the Get-Go, actually asked for approval at one point, and this was before my time, and it was actually rejected at that time by the board. But then the state actually overturned the board at that point and allowed the license. So we already have an establishment that is relatively close to the school, and my thought is that hasn't been a major problem. This is a business owner in town that wants to continue to run a business here and brings tax dollars into the district. we already have that license there that exists. It's not causing any problems. Our law enforcement, our police department they enforce the liquor laws, and we really haven't had any issues with it. So I'm thinking really that I just wanted to make you aware of it, and I'm thinking that the best thing for us to do is to just go ahead and sign off on it and approve it, unless there's any major objections by any of you.
No issue here. Brian Novotny's he was born and raised here, been a long time business owner, so.
Yeah, I think
He and I graduated together.
I was happy to see him open again.
when we can, we always think we should try to do the best to help the local businesses out because they help us. And this is one of those situations where it's already there, so I don't really see that it's going to be any different.
So do we need to take any action or no?
No, you don't. But I just wanted to discuss it out in the community because I thought that it's just something that the community needs to know that did come before the board. And that's it for my superintendent's report.
Okay, item B, treasurer's report.
Number 1, recommend a resolution to approve October 31st, 2016 financial reports. And I've got some reports attached, the detail, and then I've got some PowerPoint. You also have it on the report. So this is just a review of the annual estimate for the forecast on revenue and expenditures versus where we're at as of the end of October. Our revenue is at 45%, or 33.3% through the year. And I've got that tick mark because we've already received our first half of real estate. So that's why it's higher than the 33%. Our expenditures are at 32%, which is slightly under where I would think we would be this time of year. So if you look at the excess revenue versus expenses, the forecast puts us at $913,418 to the negative. Currently, we're to the good. And that happens because we only get our real estate twice a year. So then at the bottom, there's just the graph showing where we're at. The gold versus the blue is the estimate. And then to break it down, by each type of revenue. Again, we're at 47% for our real estate and personal property, which we should be about 50%. But we usually get more money in the first half of the year than the second half of the calendar year. State foundation, we're right at 34%. Restricted state revenue, 33%. Our property tax, 50%, we're right on. All other revenue, we're slightly up by 46%. Overall revenue, the 45%. And then on the expenditure side, on salaries and wages, we're right at 33%. And fringe benefits at 34%. Purchase services, 31%. We're slightly under. Supplies, we're up at 58%, which we would expect because we order more at the beginning of the year. Capital outlay, we're at 52%. And then the next couple of items are debt. We have debt payments we make twice a year on the House Bill 264 bill. And then the other is our lease for the costs for the building projects. Other expenses right at 35%. So overall expenditures, again, 32%. So that shows the breakdown of the revenues and expenditures. Anyone have any questions?
What's in the non-operating revenue, the one that's at 98%?
I ran a report on that. Part of that was the money we got on the Apple computers. They gave us a lump sum. It was around $250,000.
For the attorneys?
$265,000, yeah, what we turned in. They actually sent us a check.
Gotcha.
Opposed to deducting that from what we purchased. Another item was almost $25,000 where we were paid a third of the groundskeeper's salary and benefits from the city. And that goes in that category because it was from a prior year, so it was last year's salary. And then we received over $150,000 as a refund from the retirement system that was an overpayment because we pay on estimate. It comes through our foundation each month.
Suzanne, when will we be retiring the House Bill 264?
We've got several payments, so on the 5-year forecast, it shows all that, where it's going down.
It will be totally done though with.
It'll be done within our forecast period.
Right.
Yeah, so we've got like one falling off 3 years in a row.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Call, do we move on that or not?
No.
Okay, I'll move to accept.
Second.
Any other discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Habermill?
Yes.
Mrs. Ennis? Yes. Mrs. Oates?
Yes.
Mr. Stark?
Yes.
Mrs. Step? Yes. Number 2, recommend a resolution to approve amended appropriations and authorize return of advances from June of 16.
I'll second.
So there were advances made to some of the grant funds that were basically a loan, and that's giving me permission to return that money to the general fund.
Call the roll.
Mrs. Ennis?
Yes.
Mrs. Oates?
Yes.
Mr. Habermill?
Yes.
Mr. Stark?
Yes.
And Mrs. Step? Number 3, recommend a resolution to approve the memorandum of understanding with OC Local number 332 to change Article 34.07 of the negotiated agreement.
I'll move.
So this was basically just a typo. In the original contract, it said 200, we agreed for 300, so it's formality to.
All right, call the roll, please.
Mr. Habermill?
Yes.
Mrs. Ennis? Yes. Mrs. Oates?
Yes.
Mr. Stark?
I'm going to abstain since my wife is in the union.
Okay. And Mrs. Step?
Yes.
Number 4, recommend a resolution to approve the recommendation of the treasurer and athletic director to permanently transfer $60,000 from the general fund to the 300 athletic fund.
I'll move.
One second.
Questions or discussion?
That's just so we don't do it at the end of the year.
Just operating budget, right?
Right.
Okay, call the roll.
Mrs. Oates?
Yes.
Mrs. Step?
Yes.
Mr. Habermill?
Yes.
Mrs. Ennis?
Yes.
And Mr. Stark?
Yes.
Number 5, recommend a resolution to approve district change funds in the following amounts. Athletic department, $2,000. High school cafeteria, $100. Coffee shop, $100. High school office, $100. And board office, $50. Number 6, recommend a resolution to acknowledge and accept payment of $5,512.15 to Delta Products made by Vermillion Athletic Booster Club for half the cost of a new sound system for the soccer field, softball field, and hardball field. The remaining amount of payment of $5,512.16 will be paid from the general fund.
Just real quick, was number 5 a separate resolution or is 5 and 6 together?
I think they're together.
Okay. Then I'll move.
I'll second.
Any questions?
So is this, there's a new sound system at each one of these fields?
Yes, yeah, those are all separate, and prior to this, the softball field didn't have anything, so this will be a substantial upgrade, obviously from nothing to having a sound system, and then the other ones were some of the original equipment that was put in a fields were built, and the sound just was not good and was sorely needed. And we thank the boosters for being willing to pay for 50% of the cost of it. And this coming season, we'll hear much better sound coming from those 3 facilities.
Another great donation by the Booster Club. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Habermill?
Yes.
Mrs. Oates?
Yes.
Mrs. Ennis?
Yes.
Mr. Stark?
Yes.
And Mrs. Stark?
Yes.
Number 7, recommend a resolution to accept the following donations. $729.25 to VHS Athletic Department to purchase middle school basketball uniforms from Vermillion Athletic Booster Club. $4,288 to be used for the purchase of a wrestling mat from Vermillion Athletic Booster Club. $2,150 to the VHS bowling team from Bruce Martin. $800 to support lunch for low-income students from Vermillion Chamber of Commerce. A donation of flowers planted in the VHS Stadium from Jean Mason Leonardo. $50 to VHS Speech and Debate Team from Harbortown 5. $50 to VHS Speech and Debate Team from Deerfield Factory LLC. $75 to VHS Speech and Debate Team from Vermillion Taverns Incorporated. And grant of $1,680 in nurse skill from Action for Healthy Kids. $500 to Vermillion Schools Music Department from Mr. and Mrs. John Sanderson via Erie County Community Foundation. And Vermillion Education Foundation grants funds totaling $16,347.62.
Call the roll.
Mrs. Ennis?
Yes.
Mrs. Stepp? Yes. Mr. Habermill?
Yes.
Mrs. Oates?
Yes.
Mr. Stark?
Yes.
Suzanne, were we able to get a list of all the things that were funded?
Yeah.
The different projects?
Could email that out.
Okay, item 7, discussion items. Anything? Any?
Mike already discussed Capital Conference, but I'll just add my perspective from it. We attended a 10 o'clock meeting for superintendents that met on Capitol Plaza, and there were 5 speakers there, 5 different superintendents that spoke on the issues with state testing and with high school graduation issues. And I think it was effective overall. I think that it's good to hear the perspectives of the superintendents, and there were those 5 different speeches, all coming from different school districts and a little bit different perspectives. And they were all basically saying the same thing, though, that we're very concerned with the high school graduation requirements as they are. I think we're pretty fortunate here in Vermillion. I know that Melanie came in and she'll be doing an article in the photojournal that will be out this Thursday, and she asked some questions about it. And our percentage is relatively low compared to what's going on across the state. It's as high as 70% of the junior class that might not graduate. Not us. You know, we're down, I think we've got 27 students that are identified right now, but that number is slated to come down much lower than that. So we're down, you know, in the 12% of our high school graduating class, 12 to 14%, I think.
Yeah, I would have to run numbers, but.
I think we have 178 slated in that junior class, and
it's hard to tell because you're playing this numbers game. So it's like, you know, and the juniors still have to take the government exam and still trying to figure out. So, yeah.
Our percentage in comparison with most of the state is very low. And so I think we've done a good job with it, and they're going to continue to bring the number down lower. But that still doesn't mean that the state's talking about making an adjustment now. They haven't done it yet. Hopefully they will. And so that was one of the issues. And the other issue was just the amount of testing. And everybody, I think, here agrees that there's too much of it. And there's got to be a better way. So hopefully we'll be seeing some changes that come across. And So just wanted to comment on that, and I too attended a couple sessions and walked the floor, the trade show floor, and saw some interesting things. I know that the high school is working on a maker space, and so is the middle school, and those items are expensive, and hopefully we'll be able though to come up with some things that are alternatives for the high school students that if you had a chance to walk the floor, they showed some very interesting, some of the 3D printers and the UV printers and just all different types of robotic options. So we'd like to get into that as much as we can, and we'll be working on that. So I think that there were some good things down there. Mr. Habermill and I attended a session on the financing of some stadium projects, and we'll be looking at those options as well. So we've got a lot of things in the fire right now, but it's going to take some time to, I think at this point we've just kind of stepped back a little bit and take a little bit of breath after all of the building projects that have went on, and it's been good to just take a step back for a little bit, and now we need to go back after it. So we have a few things to do.
Anything else? All right, we'll move on to item 8, the consent agenda. The superintendent and treasurer recommend that the Board of Education approve the consent agenda items. Action by the Board of Education in adoption of the consent agenda means that all items are adopted by one single motion unless a member of the board, the treasurer, or the superintendent requests that any such item be removed from the consent agenda and voted on separately. Item 1, approve the minutes of the October 10, 2016 regular board meeting and October 24, 2016 special meeting, attachment C. Item 2, approve the following fundraisers per policy 5830. Peer Leadership Powder Buff football game, November 9. Leo Club Halloween costume contest, October 24th to 28th. VHS Jeans for Troops to benefit the GI Go Fund, November 7th. Peer Leadership Bracelet Sale, December 12th to January 27th. Yearbook Advertising Fundraiser, November 28th through April 13th. Yearbook Christmas Candygram Sale, December 12th through 20. Prom to Dawn Calendar Raffle, December 1 through January 31. Prom to Dawn Bake Sale at Winter Play, December 2nd and 3rd. Prom to Dawn Bake Sale at all home basketball games. Prom to Dawn Fish Fry, February 17th. Item 3, approve the purchase of 7 gift cards at a cost of $10 each to be used as prizes for the Halloween costume contest sponsored by Leo Club. Item 4, approve the school calendar for 2017-18 academic year. Item 5, approve 2016-17 price list from the VHS Coffee Shop. Item 6, authorize James A. Bellata to suspend students from North Point Education Service Center programs should the behavior activities be severe enough to merit said response. Item 7, approve the North Point Education Service Center handbook that is applicable to district students in programs operated by North Point ESC. Item 8, approve contract for children with disabilities, open enrollment with Amherst Exempted Village Schools. Item 9, contract with Lisa Cooper for professional development and community-based instruction for moderate to intensive students at a cost of $1,200. Item 10, authorize payment of the following: $60 to Andrew Stillman as site manager for the Northwest District Athletic Board, and $23.24 to Devin Snook for emergency transportation of students using the school van. Item 11, authorize and approve payment of 6 applications for preschool program scholarships as recommended by the Special Education Supervisor, Karen Blackburn. Item 12, approve the following employment actions. That's not bad, we'll go through them. Letter of resignation from Elizabeth Pasder, mentor, effective October 17. 1-year tutor contract for 16-17 school year to the following: Laura Heil, 25 hours per week, level 6, step 10, $41.60 per hour. 1-year classified employee contract for 2016-17 to the following: Kylie Kimmick, bus monitor, step 1, $9.80 per hour. 1-year additional duties contract for 2016-17 contract year to the following: Rebecca Baldoff, Mohican Trip instructional chaperone, level 0, step 1, $292. Gabriel Caudill, Mohican Trip instructional chaperone, Level 0, Step 1, $292. Gabriel Caudell, Middle School Softball Coach, Level 14, Step 1, $2,582. Nicole DeCam, Mentor, Experienced Teacher, Level 1, Step 0, $333. Kimberly Duda, Mohican Trip Instructional Chaperone, Level 0, Step 4, $417. Kelly DePasky, Mohican Instructional Chaperone, Level 0, Step 0, $250. Cynthia Alexa, Dual Enrollment Coursework, Level 4, Step 4, $1,166. Jeffrey Olson, Grade 8 Girls Basketball Coach, Level 16, Step 2, $2,999. One-year supplemental contracts for the 16-17 contract year to the following, pending satisfactory completion of background check and pupil activity permit. Lisa Fiedler, Winter Guard Advisor, SMS, Level 4, Step 4, $1,166. Laurel Florick, Winter Guard Advisor, VHS, Level 9, Step 4, $1,999. One-year classified substitute contract on an as-needed basis to the following: Cynthia Argenti, Jessica Jackson, Linda Workman, Jody Dillinger, Lisa Rose, Elena Hancock, Melody Spence. One-year limited contract to the following students enrolled in work experience and career exploration programs: Arian Bennett, Austin Vuga, and Joshua Horick. I'll move.
Second.
Is there anything anyone would like removed? Okay. Call the roll.
Mr. Habermill?
Before, has there ever been any thought about maybe having Veterans Day off for the kids to?
We've talked about it through the years of running the calendar, and the answer is yes, but it just hasn't worked calendar-wise, so perhaps can in the future, but it just...
Okay. Just a thought.
Some school districts work it into
Because
the
I know our students do a lot for the veterans, so I wasn't sure if that was something that...
We've tried to do, but just for the sake of the way the calendars come out in the last couple of years, it just hasn't worked that way, but we definitely consider it, and it's not that we don't want to respect that day, but it just hasn't.
And coffee shop fees, we're making money on those, I assume, with the new...
It's improving little by little.
I mean, with what they're charging for...
They're covering their expenses, right? That's the intention.
Okay. Okay, that's all I had.
All right, call the roll, please.
Mrs. Ennis?
Yes.
Mrs. Oates?
Yes.
Mr. Stark?
Yes.
Mrs. Scott?
Yes.
Item 9, items removed from the consent agenda. There were none, so we'll move to item 10. Item 10 is public participation. Would anybody like to speak or address the board? It's your chance, ladies.
Keep that in mind.
All right. Item 11, date and time of upcoming board meetings held at Vermillion High School, 1250 Sanford Street, Vermillion, unless otherwise noted. Regular meeting on Monday, December 12th at 7 p.m. Organizational meeting on Monday, January 9th at 6:45 p.m. And a regular meeting following that, January 9th at 7 p.m. And then some proposed 2017 meetings also. Monday, February 13th, a regular meeting, and Monday, March 13th, a regular meeting. So, unless anyone has any issues, put those on your calendar. Item 12, recommend a resolution to move into executive session for the purpose of the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of public employees or investigation of charges, complaints against an employee or student, unless the employee or official or student requests a public hearing.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Mrs. Ennis?
Yes.
Mrs. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Habermill?
Yes.
Mrs. Oates?
Yes.
Mr. Stark?
Yes.
Mr. DeHora?